Guys, DG, I'm back again. Thank you for having me. Now, as I wait for my dentist appointment, I've obviously seen the news that you lot have that Ivan Gazidis has officially, almost basically officially left the club in the sense that he's announced he's going to join AC Milan. I believe his tenure there starts on December the 1st. He will leave here on the 31st of October. Arsenal, I'm referring to. So, yeah, he's leaving the club. My first initial thoughts on my reactions, I mean, I've done enough videos about this. It's been coming, but now that it's officially all said and done, my first thoughts is good riddance and good luck. Firstly, I'm a nice guy, but good riddance. I mean, the last 6 months, you really brought along the catalyst for change and all of these sort of things. You brought what you wanted to implement in that people that used to play for the club have got some positions at some level within the club, ensuring the continuity or whatever the word is for the club and the tradition and all of them sort of things there. You've seen Raul Sanye, Miss Lintat, all these guys that have come in that are experts in their respective fields coming to the club to bring us forward. If they can all collaborate well, they're all simply pieces to the puzzle of what could be a great future. Obviously, you was part of the team, or more or less headhunted the next manager that replaced the manager that's been here for 22 years. So you've had a significant part to play in some things. You've obviously been here while we've moved to the new stadium as well. Well, you weren't exactly here when it opened, but you came about. Came about. So what? He's been here 10 to 12 years. And really and truly, if he's been here 10 to 12 years and I'm only really praising him for his 6 months here, something's wrong. Catalyst for change, Bayern Munich level, this, that, and the effing third. None of it happened. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Part of me has not got a lot of time for Ivan Gazidis, but I'm wary as to what I might not have seen behind the scenes, what he might have done, and things like that. If we lose Ivan, as non-biased as I can possibly be, we've lost someone of influence in regards to a seat at the UEFA table, influencing decisions into changes that will affect the top six, etc. We've lost someone like that. He's obviously skilled. He's obviously a very skilled man. Like, let's not beat around the bush and things like that. But it hasn't happened. One thing I can't understand as well is well documented. I don't know the ins and outs, but it's well documented how it was basically a struggle of power for many years between Wenger and Ivan. You finally won it, and now you've left. That stinks rotten to me. That smells of someone bottling it, in my opinion, because you now know there's no Wenger or obviously Kroenke's still there, but there's no Kroenke, Wenger. There's no easy targets for if something's not going right at the club. Which, don't get me wrong, both of them deserved a lot of criticism, not the overzealous comments, but a lot of criticisms, but some that they might not be guilty for that you can hide behind them. The pressure is on. Arsenal Football Club is not where we've been for many years, in the sense that at least we was getting top four, furthest away from winning a league title than we've ever been. Obviously, no champs. The playing squad needs a revamp eventually. There's a lot of old players. There's a lot of changes. It could be, most people would find that exciting and say if they were to come out the other side of it and say they were a part of that, they're good. But for me, that stinks of someone that doesn't. If something goes wrong, he don't want it to be blamed on him, because it seems like he finally got a position of power and now he's joining AC Milan, which they're trying to have a new beginning and things like that. And I don't feel anyone will be able to pinpoint the blame to him. For what it's worth, I can't doubt a man and fault a man for wanting to leave. I mean, you've been here for many years. You've probably enjoyed it a lot. You've had all these influences and all of these things. You now join AC Milan. Allegedly, you're getting a stake in the club. The people, the fun taking over the club. You're I don't want to say good friends, but you're well connected with them. So they've bound to have enticed you in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, stake in the club's a big enough carrot already. So yeah, I understand it. There's conflicting reports as well in regards to allegedly Ivan Gazidis wanted Arteta officially, but then members of the board or whoever sided with Emery, the safer appointment. There's also appointments that there's also comments that Emery was the only man Ivan wanted to pinpoint and bring into the club. So we'll ultimately never know the truth in that regards. But for me, like, what has he really done? He's a big fan of stat DNA. Allegedly, Wenger weren't on that. Allegedly, the sign. I can't back it up because I was not a coaching staff member of Arsenal, and I don't know. But allegedly, stat DNA was used to buy Gabriel, Lucas Perez, and Mustafi. Now, has any of them, and El Nene? Will allow El Nene, but the three I said before his name, have they been successes at this club or anything near? No. So you can see why someone might have been reluctant to it and whatnot. And if you were going about this just stinks of disaster. Like, you've done some good things for the club, clearly. Some things that I won't be able to ever comprehend. Some things behind the scenes, but the when we cut through the noise and just look at it for what it is, you have lied, you've been nothing but a bottler, you've been nothing but empty promises, and the only time Arsenal fans generally have been happy with you is this last 6 months. You've been here 10, 12 years, 6 months. That shows you ain't done a good job, in at least in the fans' views. Anyways, for what it's worth, Raul Sanllehi, a man who I told you would probably step into the role, if not Josh, steps in with, I believe his name is Vinal Vinkessel, and I can't say his name, but he's a skilled businessman. He's allegedly, Vinal will oversee business operations, and Raul Sanllehi will handle everything else. I mean, Raul Sanllehi had, what, 16 years or so at Barcelona? So he's skilled with a lot. So, like, he really should have this position. And I'm keen to see what he can implement, man. I mean, he built a solid reputation with Barcelona, with the club and the fans for many reasons. He's skilled with contract negotiations. He's got other skills that he could implement. Because I don't want to say he has a free role at the club, but figures of power have left in Wenger and Wenger and Ivan Gazidis. He might be allowed to bring his ex-Barcelona members or his technical staff and things like that, and make us essentially a Barcelona B of sorts. I would love to see something like that. I'm keen to see what happens. I have to spare a thought for Unai Emery as well. What does he feel? Because you were probably, like fans, given a bag of empty promises by Ivan Gazidis, this, that, and the other. And he's left. So it just shows how in life, specifically football, the example, because they mirror each other, people are self-serving. Not Unai. Ivan talked all of this nonsense and all these empty promises and all of this and that and the other, and ultimately his comments have led to nothing but thin air. Talk is free, action is everything, and he's shown himself to be nothing but spineless. In snaking it, to be honest. But for what it's worth, he doesn't owe us anything. It's, as non-biased as I look at it, it's a fantastic opportunity. You've been at Arsenal, top 6 club for many years. AC Milan, historically a big club. Italy, new way of life. If they're giving you a stake in the club, and you can guarantee you're going to get a nice little payoff, you can't really fault him. You'll probably get a nice little sending off bonus fee from Kroenke or whatever, because they're all in cahoots. But it is what it is, man. Safe. Good riddance, to be honest with you. I mean, he's also said, for what it's worth, I was reading his statement, but I didn't really deep it because I knew he was talking nonsense. He said, it'd be wrong for me not to allow new leadership and new energy. That's really what caught me. I mean, okay, if you feel fatigued and stuff and you want to bring new energy, but I read that and that makes me feel bad, because I read that as, yeah, I'm just gonna skate off. It looks like Arsenal is too big of a task for me to put my reputation on the line, so I'm just going to leave a sinking ship before it's fully sunken, because we know Arsenal faced the biggest fight, not before we even talk about competing for champs and Prem and major honours, just getting back in the top 6, just looking like a good football team on a pitch. There's a lot of work to be done, and he's showing his belly. He's showing his balls are not big enough to want to do this thing, so he's skating off. That's not me saying that AC Milan, they ain't got to do with madness, but if he was to join AC Milan tomorrow, which he will be doing in December, and stuff won't happen, are the fans going to point to Ivan Gazidis first and foremost? Or are they going to point to the manager, which you've seen with Arsenal? Or are they going to point to the new owners if they're investing and it's not the investment they wanted to see, or they don't feel the club's doing certain things? It's not going to be Ivan Gazidis. Ivan Gazidis will get it eventually if that did happen, but he won't be the first. Rather, if he was to be at Arsenal now, there's no Wenger, obviously Mislintat, Raul Sanllehi, Unai Emery, there's a couple new additions, so they're going to get a lot of leeway. It falls on Ivan Gazidis' head. You saw how exhausting getting a new manager into the club must have been, with all the speculation and stuff like that. He doesn't want it. He wants a cozy life, and there's nothing wrong with that. You've shown yourself for what you're meant to be, and that's nothing more than a spineless prick, to be honest with you. Good riddance, in my opinion. We lose someone that's skilled with a lot of expertise and all of them things, but it is what it is. Raul Sanllehi will step into it. And is Don Vinal. He'll pattern that up. Hopefully we get some more skilled people to come into the role, or not into Ivan's role, but to kind of supplement or make up the losses for what Ivan might have done that us fans don't know. So we'll see what it is, man. I'm keen to see what Raul Sanllehi is on, because he's a big dog in this thing, being at Barca, and now he's essentially, I don't want to say free reign, because he's going to have to collaborate with Josh Kroenke and stuff. I say Josh because I did think he'd become the CEO. You saw my video months ago before this speculation even started. But why I say that is because whether it was Wenger winning a league title or any major development, incoming or outgoing, you saw on the Arsenal statements it said Stan Kroenke. It now says it said in this one relating to Ivan, it said Josh Kroenke. So is Josh going to be more hands-on? Is Josh going to take an added approach? When you consider that allegedly he played a big role in Ozil renewing his contract, that a couple of journalists have said. But I don't know any of that. I'm just speculating. I've got nothing more to add, man. So on that note, guys, deluded. I'm out. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish. Deluded.